a good time. Put a smile on your face, yeah. Can be Cam and Elation Radio. Even brighten your day and help you through the night. Bring you good music. Can be Cam and Elation Radio. And here's your host, Kimmy Kim.
Do you have an upcoming event? Well, I encourage you to book Beyond Defense Family for an amazing experience. Beyond Defense is a talented group of men and women who have toured the world to display their talents of song and ministry. Did I forget to mention multi-award winners? They're your one-stop shop for making your event the best in the city. Book Beyond Defense today at beyonddefense.org. Click menu, then contact. Beyond Defense, your audience will thank you.
Welcome to Beyond the Radio.
Welcome to Beyond the Radio. And you better be smiling.
Beyond the fences in the building.
Hey. Welcome.
Yes. This is your main man, David Benton, and I am in the building. Welcome to Beyond the Radio. That's right. It's going down tonight. We got a wonderful show, hot topic, and we're going to have us some fun. You know how we do it right here on Beyond the Radio. So it's going down. And you know we missed you guys. Shout out to the Elation family. We love you. We thank the Elation Radio family. Why? Because they stay prayed up. So by the time we come, man, we already know we covered. We pray for them. We just can come on in and have us a good time. What you just heard coming in, that was called Fly High by your man right here, David Benton, featuring my guys, Kobe Kane. They call him Mr. Kobayashi. Had my man Wansay, the president, my brother, Bush, and my African brother, Giddy. That's right. And we had a good time with that song. I appreciate those guys for blessing me, man. I sent it to them. Yo, they didn't even charge me. They said, you know what? We know what you stand for. We going in, and we're going to stand up for a purpose. And that's what we did, walked out on purpose. I hope you enjoy that song, Fly High. So, with that being said, we're going to continue with the show because we have a wonderful show for you tonight. Yes, we do. So, can I get a drum roll? Coach Shay Samuels, are you in the building?
Coach Shay Samuels is in the building. And I'm smiling, David. I'm smiling.
Go.
Yes, and I can officially say that you are Coach David. You know, you have had the opportunity over the last couple of months to coach some amazing children, the youth. You know, some of them are children, but then you have others that you have kind of raised into men. So the good thing about, you know, the dynamic duo is that you are also a coach. So shout out to you, Coach David, as well.
Thank you. And, you know, it's a privilege to be called that because, you know, over the weekend, I experienced, of course, I always tell my story. I did 13 years of federal prison, 13 years and 2 months to be exact. And I was behind the fence, and now I'm beyond the fence. That's why the label is called Beyond the Fence Enterprise, because we are definitely beyond our fence. And everybody have a fence they're trying to go beyond. My fence was prison. David's fence was, David in the Bible, his fence was Goliath. Jesus' fence was that cross. Other people's fence might be alcoholism, drug addiction, whatever it may be. Homosexuality. Some may be dealing with homosexuality and really want to get past it, want to get through it. Some are comfortable with that. And if they're comfortable with it, hey, I'm not trying to judge, but there are some I know personally that is uncomfortable with it. And they say, man, I do not want to be this way. And I've seen people actually change and say, you know what, I don't want to be this way no more. And they stayed in it. And a couple of brothers that literally got children and are married now, although they was once homosexuals, and they went beyond their fence. So we all got fences we're trying to go beyond. I had a wonderful time this weekend. I was able to spend time with brothers who did 20 years, 25 years, 28 years. And I remember they called me short timer, and I had a 15-year federal sentence. And they used to call me short timer, and I just couldn't understand it until I seen their sentences. And they were still smiling, reading, educating themselves, always, every day trying to be better than they was yesterday and focused on what was today. And we had a reunion. We had a prison reunion. I was in Butner, LSCI prison right there in Butner, North Carolina. We had a reunion, and I had such a ball. We laughed, ate, and laughed some more. Shot a video. I had so much fun, Shay. Oh, my God. It was such an experience. the experience of prison I'll never forget. So just reuniting with these brothers is something I'll never forget. It was genuine. I enjoyed myself. It was, I went in a young man. I really went in a old boy. I wasn't even a young man. I was an old boy, and I came out a man. And that experience made me the king that I am today. And I appreciate them brothers, man. I love them brothers. They really created something in me. I came in, and just saw strangers. And when I left out, I had brothers, literal brothers. So that was a beautiful thing. What about yourself, Shay? How have your week and weekend and couple of weeks, how have it been?
Well, life has its ups and its downs, and I think, we're just experiencing a lot of the ups and downs. But it goes on. So we just keep moving. We keep moving. It's been a very productive week. I always say productive because there's always something for us to do individually, something for us to do within our businesses, and just always growing. You ask how my week has been, and I would just say it's been full of growth. If anything, and you can see what you see on the news, you can hear what you hear on radio. Social media has really just kind of convoluted and really taken over what we see on a daily basis, and so sometimes what you see can be disheartening. But I can just say this week has been full of growth, and I'm excited about that. I'm excited about what that looks like for my future and for those around me.
Yes, I want to give a shout out to G Will, and G Will stands for God's Will. DJ G Will. Shout out to G Will for his song Brand New. We have a video for it right there on YouTube, and it is over 10,000 views. So we appreciate everyone who has supported, everyone who goes to the song, take their time to go to it, like it, comment. We appreciate it. We do not take it for granted. And, all I can say is continue to support all the Beyond the Fence artists. Shout out to Miss Alma Neely. Keep striving, Miss Alma. Keep striving. I'll tell you that. Keep striving. And stay grounded. And, to go beyond the fence, you'll go far going beyond the fence. I tell you that. And I encourage anyone. You go beyond your fence, there's no way you can fail when you go beyond your fence. Because I say that, Shay, because I realized that when I was incarcerated, I was my worst enemy. Not the guys who cooperated against me and, my bitterness towards other people, blaming everybody except myself. If I wouldn't have never become part of membership, if I wouldn't have never decided to, sell narcotics, then, I broke the law. And even though I stopped for almost 2 years, the point is God knew what I was doing, and God allowed me to remain alive instead of taking me out, allowing the streets or that community, the negativity, that violence, it didn't take me out of here. So I got a chance to tell my story, and now that I've been through something, I can help people get through their own, help them go beyond their own fence. So it's a blessing.
Yeah.
So with that said, Coach Shay, you ready to start this night tonight? Are you ready?
Well, I want to say yes. I want to say yes, but I do want to expound a little bit if we can before we start the night. I want to expound a little bit because honestly, I think that you kind of sugared down or watered down your experience this weekend, and I know a lot of those brothers listening to the show. I know that they listening to the show, and you had a chance to meet up with some of the people that you haven't really seen since your 20s. And I don't think that we should make light of it. I mean, this is what we're all about. Beyond the Radio is about going beyond your fence. And, David, I just feel like there may be someone listening tonight. We have millions of listeners. But there just might be someone listening tonight that needs to be able to identify with you know, what it looks like to truly come outside of the fence, to go beyond the fence. So maybe just 5 more minutes. If you want to just take some time to really talk about your experience this weekend, I'm okay with that.
Well, you know, like I said, I did 13 years, and, you know, a guy who over 20, you know, he was like, look, man, we should have a reunion. All the guys just need to get together, man. We can come up here in North Carolina. And the thing about it, we really been planning this like for about 2 or 3 years. We've been talking about it. Like, man, we should just all just get together, have a reunion. Mm-hmm. And I'm not from North Carolina, so I would see pictures of some of the guys would try to get together. You know, like there'd be about 5 of them, 6 of them, and, you know, another group be about 2 or 3 of them, another group, it'd be about 4 or 5, and another group, but we never all just came together. So we have an actual Butner Facebook page. Seriously. We went on our page, and, you know, myself, and I was one of the spearheads, to be honest, to really motivate the guys why it's so important for us to come together. And then, you know, us being incarcerated for so long, when you living with somebody for a decade, you tend to grow. Yeah. Everybody see your imperfection. We seen each other cry. We seen each other at our most vulnerable moments. So when we see each other now that we're outside, we see the rough side. We see the most vulnerable sides of one another. So, you know, when we see each other now, we can't put on that mask. We can't fake it.
Mm-hmm. Right.
We can't fake it. We know who each other really is.
Yeah.
You know, we know how it feels to be in those weak moments, and we encouraged each other and embraced each other. And you know what? Like men. We treat each other like the kings we seen. We represented that kingdom because we walked in royalty. And when one get down, we always pick them up. And, you know, we represent a real, true family, real brothers. And the love is so genuine. You know, I never seen nothing like it. You know, like I said, I always tell the story. My first day at Life in 30, he told me to prepare for home. So being around these type of guys, say, man, prepare for home. Get ready. And the beautiful part about it, Coach Shay, everybody there is doing good with their life. Yeah. Everybody does the thing. Nobody is illegal. Everybody can. And did you, Shay? Oh God, Coach Shay, you experienced it. You seen it. You see the cars that was pulling up. You see the brothers' houses, home, the yard. You could hear everybody was doing good. Everybody was positive. We was laughing, and we're doing better than a lot of the people who never been incarcerated a day in their life.
Yeah.
And it's awesome. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing to discredit other people. I'm just trying to motivate people to let you know that there's no excuse for failure. If you really want to be better, you can just simply be better.
Yeah.
Don't blame nobody. Don't blame nobody.
It's all what you say. It's a mindset. You say it all the time. It's a mindset.
It's definitely a mindset. So, and it's coincided with what we was about the match.
Yes. Yes. Now I knew that we would be able to segue into the discussion because you had shared with me after the event. You shared with me just kind of how you had a chance to see at least one person, if not everybody, their cry. You've seen, you know, after bad news has happened, what happens. You've seen the coming together. So there were really no opportunities for anyone because you had to live in such close quarters to be outside of what we're going to be talking about tonight. So that was an amazing segue, Coach David.
Yes, and tonight our subject, I was gonna wait for this for October, to be honest, but I want to do it now. And it's called wearing a mask all year round. Halloween all year round. We represent Halloween all year round. And what I mean is, we put on a mask. We put on a suit. We put on a character all year round. And we go around, and this is what I love about reuniting with my brothers from Butner, North Carolina. Everybody came in with a mask on. Everybody. When you first come in, you still got your mask on from when you was in the street.
Wow, that's good.
You still got that mask on. And eventually, you see everybody with their mask off, and you still got your mask on. Eventually, you take your mask off, and they see the real you. I've seen guys say, like, they get bad news. Like, when my sister passed away, it was so many guys there for me. How am I hold that in? My sister is gone. How can I hold that cry in talking about I'm tough? No, what makes you tough is when you can be honest about who you are inside. And what makes you real is when other people can empathize with that pain and they embrace you. They don't even tell you that it's going to be all right. They just say, man, we here for you, brother, and we love you. I've seen people hope, man, with 30-year sentences, and they get they verdict come back from the court after they done put it in, waiting 2 and 3 years, and then next thing you know, they get denied. 4, 3, 4 years, next thing you know, they get denied, man, and they can't even come home. And they sitting up there and like, man, I really got to do a 30-year sentence, bro. How am I going to do a 30-year sentence? I ain't killed nobody. All right, man. I'm guilty for selling drugs, but you know what? I ain't even have a lot of money, brother. I ain't even have over $500. Is this worth 30 years? I ain't even have $500. My kids growing up without me, I seen brothers cry.
Yeah.
And some really lose their minds. Literally lose their minds. I seen guys run the track. I'm not exaggerating. All day. Just run like Forrest Gump. I look at Forrest Gump. I don't like looking at the movie because it reminds me of a lot of the guys I met that went kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't wash, wouldn't brush their teeth, wouldn't comb their hair, wouldn't do nothing. They would just run, trying to escape reality because they got a sickness that they know that they can't bear. And understand, the Bible say God ain't gonna give you you can't bear. But I'm gonna be honest. I'm not gonna say the Bible a lie, but I have witnessed brothers who didn't seem to bear it too well. And they flipped out. They came in wearing that mask, and when they took that mask off, reality set in. And they never came back. I literally seen people lose their minds. To see these brothers, everybody sane, positive, having a great time. Nobody got the mask on. And when we come home, we realize how many people are wearing a mask. And it's frustrating because it's like, look, man, take your mask off. You faking. You know what I'm saying? I see it. You have a mask. You are wearing a outfit. You are playing a role of a character. You're only characterizing. You're acting. You're trying to pretend to be who you want me to, who you think I want you to be. You're only portraying an image. So that's why I say that people right here in Halloween all year round. All year round. Nobody wants to take the mask off. Nobody want to take that that uniform off and be the person who they really are, because we're afraid of how people gonna judge us. We're afraid for how people gonna really see us. We're people pleasers, and we'll say we don't care, but that's not true.
Mm-hmm.
We care what people think. We care what people think. In that case, people wouldn't dress a certain way. Why? Because they want to look what we would call presentable. Why? In front of other people. If you was on the island by yourself, you wouldn't care. I mean, because there wouldn't be nobody to please. It could be all the makeup in the world. It could be the best cars, the big, beautiful house. If there's nobody else to enjoy it with or anyone to impress, and it's not going to be the same. And wearing that mask, Shay, I know we have 4 minutes to break, but do you want to expound on that mask, that covering?
Yeah, the one thing that I do want to say before the break is that we have to be mindful as adults that children are watching us as well. And so if we are, they accept who we present to them. So we have to be mindful that as we portray or wear the mask, that the children are looking at us, and because they're looking at us, we're allowing them to identify with who we aren't. And then, then they do the same thing. They pick up on the same thing. So I would say, David, we have to be mindful that we have a generation behind us, and a lot of what we consider being lost is because we haven't been able to identify with who we really are, and we're expecting them to know who they are, but they are a replica of who we present ourselves to be.
Which is the mask.
The mask.
They represent your mask. The mask that you, and didn't even. What's the scary part about it is when you don't do it consciously.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you what's scary. Like, we'll put on this image, right? And everybody want this image. Everybody want to be famous, right? Everybody want to be famous. They look at TV and they see how people are, and this is for real. We see how your favorite actor or actress or entertainer, we see how they are worshipped. That's why the Bible said, don't listen. Don't worship these false idols. Meaning you want to be an idol yourself. You want to be idolized. That's why we look for validation from other people. Because we are inspired by these entertainers. And we want that role. So we play this role. And when we in the inner city, we trying to play a role that we see on TV. We want that role. No, we can be popular. A lot of these young men are killing each other for a name. That's how bad people want to be noticed. That's how bad people want to be popular. And I hear the parents say, "Oh, help our children, help our children." I'm gonna tell you the most dangerous thing. Well, I'm gonna tell you what we need to realize. The parents who are the shooters, the kid who the shooter, what's up with his parents? We always talk about the one who got gunned down, but what about that parent? What about that parent? That parent who put on that mask, and that child wanted to be recognized because that mask was passed down. Mm-hmm. Now this child becomes the shooter. He's not even realizing he's still a victim. Mm-hmm. Why? Because he's a victim to the system. It's a 2-for-1 deal. One dead, one go to prison forever or for a long, long time.
Yeah.
It's a 2-for-1. All because the parent is influenced by what they see. So in their they enjoy this fantasy life. So when they're trying to live their real life, they don't really know how, because they've been bamboozled, because this thing, what we call television, have made a vision and tell you how to be, or how society, what's pretty and what's not pretty, and what's accepted. So now they're putting on this image.
Yeah.
that being said, of course, we're going to finish it up when we come back from break. That is 10:30 Eastern time. So you know what time it is. The music.
Top of the music. Where the music at? Where the music at? Where the music at? Where the music at? Where the music at?
Where the music? Where the music? It's your boy David Benton. Hey yo, Shay. It's time to go beyond the fence. Life is so good. It's so good. Yeah. A merry heart do it's good like a medicine, but a broken spirit dries the bones, you know. The world's greatest DJ.
It's about 8 in the morning, I'm just waking up. Got the Folgers on brew, about to fill my cup. While I'm looking out the window, the sun come up. I'm good. It's about 8 in the morning, I'm just waking up. Got the Folgers on brew, about to fill my cup. While I'm looking out the window, let the sun come up. I'm good. I'm about to get my day started. Off to work, about to make some dollars. If only you knew what I've been through, you would smile and say that I'm good. I got a good job, I'm good. And my bills are paid, I'm good. And my family's good, my health is good. I thank God that I'm good. I got a good job, I'm good. And my bills are paid, I'm good. I got food on the table, I know that He's able. Thank God I'm good. God, I'm good. I thank God I'm good.
Life is so good.
I thank God I'm good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You are magnificent, great. You're feeling this hate, but we're ignorant grace. So intimate place, your heart of innocence make a life different break. This whole sin and the sinners, cause the enemy hate. You are the sun, stars, and the moon. You are the beam of light when it's dark in the room. When I depart from the womb, you're the air that I breathe. Always there when I need you, preparing for peace. You're so good.
I got a good job, I'm good. And my bills are paid, I'm good. And my family's good, and my health is good. I thank God that I'm good. I got a good job, I'm good. And my bills are paid, I'm good. I got food on the table, I know that He's able. Thank God I'm good. I got a good job, I'm good. And my bills are paid, I'm good. And my family's good, my health is good. I thank God that I'm so good, so good, so good, so good. Lord, you've been so good to me. Yes, you have. I'm telling you, Lord, you've been so good to me. Good.
Got plenty of reasons, because they come a dime a dozen. He died for me, so it's God I'm loving. And it's that Holy Spirit in me that's keeping this whole world buzzing. Believing in the cross life, so it's no more thugging. It's living proof in his proof that he raised the dead. Not only that, gave me a spot where I can rest my head. There was healing in the scriptures and it kept me fed. You can believe what you want, my God ain't dead. Let's go.
Who are you to tell me that my kids won't go to church and the streets will get them and strip them from their words? I got a reason to praise him. Well, I got a reason to praise him. Who are you to tell me that I can't dance and I can't shout? There's no need to worry. The world system will work it out, but I got a reason to praise him. And I got a reason to praise him. We fall down.
Come on, girl.
We get
What you
up.
talking about now?
In our Lord, God we trust, all our hope, and all our fears. Lord, we're here, draw us near, and I got a reason to praise him, and I got a reason to praise him, and I got a reason to praise him, I choose to worship him, and I got a reason to praise him, I choose to worship him.
Welcome, welcome, welcome to Beyond the Radio.
Welcome to Beyond the Radio, and you better be smiling.
Beyond the fences in the building.
Yeah. What's up? Yes, welcome back to Beyond the Radio with your host, your main man, David Benton, and co-host, Shay Samuels. If you guys are just tuning in, we are about to talk about something amazing. We always have amazing topics, but we already talked about it. So on the first half, if you missed it, we are talking about Halloween all year round, wearing your mask all around the year. We're going to talk about it in more depth right after we acknowledge our sponsors. So our first sponsor, Paula G. Voice, Lady Wisdom After Midnight. Shout out to Paula G., who is spending some time with family, and we get a chance to announce all the good stuff that she has going on, specifically voiceovers. Listen, people, we say it every single week. If you are looking for an opportunity to enhance your radio station programs, commercials, you need to have a qualified voiceover. No more calling your cousins or calling your sisters or calling your brothers, calling a friend of a friend of a friend to do your voiceovers. Make sure that you reach into Paula G. Voice, Lady Wisdom After Midnight. Tell her Beyond the Fence sent you. You can contact her at paulagvoice.com or paula@paulagvoice.com. Either way, you will find all of her information and everything that she has going by visiting the website. Also, we want to give a shout-out to G. Will, artist on Beyond the Fence, DJ G. Weezy. You know what it is. Listen, if you are looking for a DJ, you can be in the Knoxville, Tennessee area. You can be in, if it's a remote, virtual, we're in a pandemic. Nobody want to be around everybody. Contact DJ G. Will at beyondthefence.org. That's BEYONDAFENCE.org. Connect with him on Facebook as well at William Faulkner and on Instagram. But make sure you let him know your team sent me and I want to know what's going on. How can I get you at these parties? We have utilized the services twice. And I'm going to tell you guys that I have been very, I'm not saying that because he's a Beyond the Fence artist. I'm saying it because it was amazing. Last but not least, David, can I get a drum roll? Hey. Let's Talk Business Consulting Strategy and Coaching Group, LLC, the Beyond the Fence Company expansion. Listen, I told you guys, we just keep growing. We keep growing. if you are a new business, existing business, or you just want to talk to someone about your ideas of possibly about opening a business or starting a business, let's talk. That's what we're all about. You can reach into us at aboutbuildingleaders@gmail.com. We have some other programs underneath this umbrella, like youth entrepreneurship coaching programs. Visit our Facebook page at Let's Talk Business Consulting Group, and also our Instagram page at LTB Consulting as well. And you can also connect with us on YouTube at Let's Talk Business as well, where you can get some business tips also. We do offer workshops for companies, and we also offer workshops for individuals. So make sure you connect with us at Let's Talk Business. And, David, I'm just going to go ahead and get this show going, because this was an amazing topic, and I want to talk about kind of how we spearheaded this discussion. Speaking of our youth programs, tonight we had an opportunity to meet with one of our youth leaders, and, you know, she got on the call today because we do it by video. She got on the call today, and her head, her head was down. David made a good point for her to walk in confidence. And I have to be honest with you, I have worked with her, but I don't think that I've ever taken note the way that you took note about the confidence aspect, because we talk about it so much. And it made me think about how often we do this, how often, we talk about how God has us, and we talk about we don't have to worry about anything, or my confidence is in the Lord. And all of this is true. The Bible reminds us all of this, but we go back to faith without work is dead. You can work you can actually be walking in faith, but not true confidence. You get what I'm saying? You can be walking in full worship, but not true confidence. And so you're hiding behind the mask. In fact, Luke 12:2, it actually says, you can't keep your true self hidden forever. Before long, you'll be exposed. You can't hide behind a religious mask forever. Sooner or later, the mask will slip and your true face will be known. You can't whisper one thing in private and preach opposite in public. The day is coming when those whispers will be repeated all over town. And I want to ask the listeners, and you, David, how many times have we experienced that? Maybe not you, myself, or Kimmy, Kim, or anyone on the Elation family, but just that last part alone. The day is coming when those whispers will be repeated all over town. And you get what I'm saying? Like, have you ever shown yourself? And I go back, this is one of my, I say sisters in Christ, and I love her. But I remember my first experience, David, when I moved to Atlanta, Georgia, and I went to a church, and there was a lady there. Keep in mind, when you go to church, you don't know that it's someone else's first day there either, right? When you come to a church, when you come to a church or visit a church, you don't know who's there for the first time. You just expect everyone's there and they're a member. Well, this lady, she was up. She was praising and worshiping, clapping her hands, the loudest amen in the whole building. Sometimes she fell out. And this is all in one church service. And right after the service, we all ended up in a line at McDonald's. And I will never forget being in the drive-thru and hearing this lady on the inside tell the McDonald's worker off. And when I looked, I turned back, and my kids were in the car, and they saw the same lady I did at the church service as well. And they saw her yelling and pointing her finger at the McDonald's worker. Now, here's what made me laugh even more, the fact, because my mouth dropped, and I was like, the first thing I said was, she just came out of church. That was the very first thing I said. She just came out of church. But how many other people saw that experience and thought, she just came out of church? How do you identify it? By what she had on? Right? So it's no secret. She was fully clothed in her Sunday's best. And so I want to talk about, or maybe expose a bit of the religious mask. There's a number of masks that we can carry. There's a number of masks, and it says it right here in Luke 12 too. It says you can't keep your true self hidden forever. Before long, you will be exposed. And where I want to come from with it, David, is a lot of times we hide behind the word. We're not executing the word. We're not fully living in the word. We're not being great examples of the word, but we're hiding behind the word.
Absolutely.
So when someone says to you, how are you today, genuinely, and you say, well, I'm blessed and I'm highly favored, you are hiding behind the word. That is a mask. Because you don't want the person that's asking you this, you don't want that person to know, I'm not able to pay my bills today. You know what? I am feeling a bit sick in my body. Or I just had an argument with my spouse. Or one of my children at home, they're just not doing me right. Things aren't looking favorable right now in my life. We just can't expose ourselves in that way because we hide behind the word. David, I'm going to hand it over to you. I have so much more to say about it, but I know you got something juicy to add on to it, so I'm going to go ahead and hand it back over.
Yes, I'm so happy you brought that up because that is so true. And I think that's the biggest misconception when it comes to living, trying to live a prosperous life and the life that's pleasing to God. We hide behind the mask so much, we even do it with God. It's like God looking like, listen, don't you know I created you? Don't you know I know who you are? Yeah. We'll still put up a facade. And we sit up there and we talk the talk, but we don't walk the walk. And what I mean is, it's not a walk where I say, like, I'm pointing the finger saying, you're not doing right. You're not doing right by God. You're not doing right by what people say. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is being honest with who you really are.
Yes.
Being honest with yourself. Like, I don't have to put on mask anymore. I did that. I was being somebody that I thought I should be. And I meant well. A lot of us being so well. A lot of us, we say, all right, I know this is how it got to go. And we don't want to be judged. We don't want to be looked at a certain way. We all want to be respected. We all want to walk in righteousness. And the mask doesn't mean you're not a good person. That don't mean you don't have a good heart. But I want people to understand that you are awesome within yourself. Everybody is not going to approve of who you are. Now, I can prove it by saying Jesus, the anointed one, Jesus, the Messiah, Jesus, the Christ, Christos, he came down. God in the flesh, a part of the Trinity, according to Christianity faith. And people still seeing fault in him. And he was without a mask.
Wow.
He told you who he was. He was genuine. He was honest. And to be honest, you know what? I'm gonna be so real. I'm gonna be so real. Jesus know how men are. Don't you know he couldn't even come in his full glory? He couldn't come in his full glory. Because then people would have been faking the whole time around him. He couldn't come. It was like when Peter and everybody trying to save him, and he was like, listen, man, I can call legions of angels. I can do that. But he didn't exercise that type of authority. He wasn't trying to bully us. Still, he came and blessed people, helped people, showing so much love, compassion, concern. And man still found fault in him. Now, with that being said, if the Christ can be right here, not even walking in his full glory, and that was by choice. Just like when he was performing miracles, well, his first miracle was turning water into wine. He said, it's not even time yet. See? He really could have took himself off the cross. He could. He had that power if he could walk on water. He didn't even have to endure the pain. It was a righteous choice. Why? Because he said, I'm going to do the will of my Father. Father, forgive them, for they not know what they do. See? He knew that they was in error. Unconsciously. They thought they was doing the right thing. The point I'm making is, just because someone tell you who they think you are does not make them accurate. They thought the Christ, who we call Jesus, was something else. They said he was healing in the name of Beelzebub, a demon driving out a demon. He said a house that fights against itself is a divided house. That would make no sense. And people still found fault in a human being that we call Jesus. They found fault in him. So if they found fault in him, we might as well take our mask off and, you know what, just be vulnerable. Just be our natural self. Because if you're not going to accept Christ, you're not going to accept me.
Mm-hmm.
And what I mean is this, Shay. What's scary is, watch this. People won't even accept you when you wear your mask.
Yeah, that's good.
We might as well take the mask off and say, you know what? I'm Adam and Eve right now. I'm naked before you. I come to you naked, spiritual nakedness. Not physical, so I don't want none of y'all taking your clothes off in front of people. Talk about I'm free. We talk about spiritual nakedness now. Spiritual nakedness, kings and queens, men and women of God. Don't get it twisted. So you just got to come and say, you know what? I come naked before you. You either going to accept it or not. This is the real me. But I know I have integrity. I know I'm a loving person. I know I want joy in my life. I know I care for people. But I'm going to come with imperfections. And when I say imperfections, I know you're not going to agree with everything I do in my life. And I'm not going to agree with you. People disagreed with Jesus, the Christ. And guess who they was? The religious people. They were so religious, they didn't even see God in the flesh. Now, how religious is that? Pharisees. We got the law. We got the written law. We got the law of Moses. We the chosen people. But we're going to murder this man because we feel that he is blaspheming God. Now, if that ain't terrible, I don't know what is. People with masks put the one who on the cross, Shay.
Yeah.
people with the mask on, they didn't like that because when you don't have on a mask and you approach people with the mask, now you exposing them. You exposing them because you saying, okay, so now you telling me my real identity? What you telling me? I gotta be real now?
That's scary for a lot of people.
Expose me, yes. Oh, now you're trying to expose me, and then that's when we say this. You trying to tell people my business. You trying to get people all up in my business. Why? Because they are saying, you going to take my mask off in front of all these people. See, when Jesus was got to understand, when Jesus was on that mountain, he preached. He called people, you know, I know your father. Your father is the devil. And then he told them how it was. He told them who they really are. He said, I know who you are. He told them who they was behind. He exposed who they was behind their mask. Oh, you're not going to do that to me, Jesus. Let's get him. Let's get him. He exposing who we are behind this mask. He telling our business. He exposing us to the world. But if they just took off their mask, then they would have had no reason to be envious. And I just think that's what we all need to just do, Coach Shay, just take our mask off.
Yeah.
If they don't accept you for who you are, the loving person you are, you know what? It is what it is.
Yeah. You know, there's other one more mask that I wanted to discuss tonight, and that's as parents. You know, we hide behind a mask. We don't want our children to be aware of who we used to be, or the imperfections that we've had in ourselves. And when the kids grow up, they see who we've created ourselves to be. And so I always go back to Teen Wolf. I know we have a few minutes left, but I always go back to Teen Wolf when Michael J. Fox turned into the wolf. And I never understood why he didn't feel comfortable with going to his father to talk about it. He ran home, he ran in the bathroom, and the dad's knocking on the door, and he's like, come out. And he said, well, I'm trying to take care of something in here. And the dad's like, come out. And by the time he opened the door, he saw that the dad was a werewolf. And he said, why didn't you ever tell me? And the dad said, I never thought I would have to. So I would say in this short period of time that I have, just make sure that you're removing the mask so that you can help your kids be the best that they can be as well. Because when we do that, it makes them afraid. All they see is a mirror of perfection that you put before them. You've worked hard. You've done everything you needed to do to put them in the position that they're in, only for them to emotionally, spiritually be broken. So I want to encourage you to remove that mask as well.
That was deep. You might well close on that, Shay. You might well close it out.
Well, and that encouragement. Look, ladies and gentlemen, as always, like David says, we like to have a lot of fun on this show, but we always want to make sure that we encourage you and that we're teaching you as well. And I pray, honestly, that this message tonight about masks really bless somebody tonight, and that you will, and have already decided even before the show was over, to remove the mask. Catch us every single Sunday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on Elations Radio. Make sure you go to Beyond the Radio, the Facebook page, where you will see all the sponsorships and all of the playbacks of the shows that we do. Shout out to Kimmy Kim again and the Elations family and everyone who is tuned in tonight. We will catch you guys here next Sunday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And guess what? You better be smiling. With that being said, where the music at? Where the music at? Where the music at?
Beyond the fence.
Beyond the fence.
Beyond the fence.
Beyond the fence.
DB Junior.
Yes, sir. I got you.
True too.
You know I got
The Jewel.
Broski, you know I had to fly in on this one.
G Will. You know what it is.
you. You see coming like this, didn't you?
The bigger they are, the harder they fall. My problems, God slaughtered them all, the harder I ball. Fighting like a scared cat, with a back against the wall. Slip, but I didn't fall. I adapted to the fall. Ignorance, I've been through it. That's why I don't want you to do it. I want to influence, since I already proven. You can be fan of a Judas, come at the end of the ruin. Who are we fooling? What are we proving? What are we doing? What are we building? What are we giving to some of our children? Build a team, not just the industry thing. We do more than this rapper scene. Beyond fence, the family tree with the queen. We choose to worship with the king. And we protect the women by any means. And our children on everything.
Coming through the years, I want my own fight, no lie. Thinking everything is alright. Turn around and see my father in the light. Back in 03, that changed my whole life. Deceiving, one for the one mother believing. No fun on the life I'm weeping. They say things happen for a reason. I'm believing, we're fleeing. Still opportunity like I'm bleeding. I'm in the probation thinking. Structures in my life too needed. Same friends up and down, can't see it. In the back to the past, I leave it. I'm a dance of mind, I'm pleased. Prosperous, procrastinate, meeting. A bird almost out in the heated. Said I'm a loser, I say that I'm meaning. I'm in the pen, I'm left with the teeter. That friend of mine was loyal still. Received it, but Colorado all still. Received but never stopped. And I know I keep preaching on one side, twice. I never will be this smooth the floor. I won't be defeated.
Swag so magnificent due to the omnipotent. Yes, you know it's heaven sent. Call me George Jefferson. I'm walking in your glory if I keep my eyes focusing. Never turn away from the one who first loved me, man. I go by She Will. I'm in the building, man. Good looking on the head off the game, just advance. My focus so clearly beyond 2020. Thanks to BDF, there's a new addition to the family.
What I got in my music, principle, purpose, so much that they use it. Bruising the proving, no way that I'm losing. Something I do to expose the delusion. The BDF revolution. Wake up, ain't no more illusion. Constant to the union, we appreciate your contribution. Awaken us, nigga, time to find our bad and hurts. Conduct with metal, touch it, inspire, bring it together for betterment. Bring it together, be better men. All of the people in children. Graduate old school veterans. Take over the nation, Taliban. Hold up the world with one hand. Shoot through the vision, it's intense. Looking at what beyond the fence.
We are beyond nothing. We are beyond nothing.
What was this one? I seen I've been drafted. Armor's been fitted and heavily crafted. Run to the battle through power, I blast. I do this for real. Pretend it's a strategy. Do this a classic. Read the back of the book is a test and I easily pass it. All the sacrifice, the training, the blood and the tears, I laugh it. Yeah, I'm a cast. I wanna speed it up. The label say slow it down. I skip my medication. Tripolars traveling the speed of sound. I'm lost and now I'm found. Love you on the way up and they hate you on the way down. And it's never about the setting. It's the jewels that's in your crown. Judge.